You have no idea. Do you know who that is? See if you can tell me who this man is below. This is the original soul fighter, the first to fight against the elites who are trying to claim the souls of individuals. This is a true story. Those who have the consciousness to watch this video until the end will know who this man was, how they steal your souls and you don't even know it, and how to escape this matrix. This man was one of the first black composers, go watch the race spell, African-American composers who took control of the music industry from a business side, made several hit records. This man influenced several artists through several different genres. He was making, in today's standard, I think $50,000 a week. He owned his own masters, and he owned his own soul. And he knew they wanted to take more people's soul, so he was fighting against this. In fact, he was friends with Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. To really put this in perspective for you, this man controlled every part of his music, and he had one of the biggest music empires on the planet. He was so successful and was doing so much work that the FBI had him under surveillance. He had many people trying to take his music right and his soul before he died, including the mob. So let's get into his murder that has a lot of question marks around it. He'd been shot in the chest, right in the heart. He only had a jacket and a shoe on. Bertha Franklin claimed that she is the one who shot him, and it was out of self-defense. And there was a prostitute at the scene who claimed that he was trying to do things to her. So she ran away with the rest of his clothes to explain why his clothes was missing. Oh, and his body was found in the shower. Very common in the music industry. So what's wrong with this story? Well, one, the woman and the prostitute who was there was very small. And people want to know, how did she break all his hands? How did she beat his face into the point where some of his skull was pushed in? Why did no one else in the motel hear the gunshots? Why did he go to a motel and not a fancy hotel with all the money he had and the acclaim and the fame he had? And why was he shot dead in the shower? Well, everybody here who's watching, you know why. He was murdered. You see, these soul eaters in the industry want your soul very much, and they can make a lot of money off souls like his. And of course, after he was murdered, there were fights over the rights of his music, aka his soul. So why do I keep doing that? Why am I equating the soul with rights of music? See, when these people say sell your soul, a lot of you don't know what they're talking about, because you still think the soul is the spirit and that the soul is not physical. And you let these spiritual gurus tell you that all across the internet. I'm here to tell you they're not telling you the truth. They're either lying to you on purpose or by accident. Either way, it harms you and your spirituality, and it favors the matrix in the industry. See, ancient societies, many of them knew that souls came in many different parts. Businesses who write contracts pretty much know this. The ancient Egyptians had names for these parts. Ka, your essence, that part of you that's just consistent through time. When you were 5, you don't have the same body as you have now, but you still have the same essence or continuity. Ba, your persona, your personality, your spirit that survives after death. Normally it's the thing that people say when they're talking about legacy. Shoot, your likeness or your shadow, your image. Ren, your name, and your heart or your thoughts, your mind. And let's not forget your Kat, that's your physical body. The ancients believed that your Ba and your Ak come together, then you can become immortal. See, there's a reason why they don't assassinate people anymore that much. So Malcolm X was big when he was alive, but when he died, it was uncontrollable at what he was able to accomplish, how many people he inspired. As a martyr, it's happened to many people in history, because once your spirit and your personality become one, these two things are not physical and therefore are everywhere and therefore can be immortal. In fact, this is how some people become gods, like Saint Nicholas, who children worship and has become Santa Claus. Write Santa Claus in the comments if you want me to make a video on it. So imagine if you could profit from this godly force. In these contracts, they own your Ren, that's your name, your likeness, that's your shoot, and your persona, that's your Ba. That's how Tupac was performing at Coachella after he died. That's 3 out of 6 parts of your soul, according to the ancient Kemetic people. See, most artists didn't know this when signing these contracts. What do I need my likeness for and my name? Who cares? My persona. Actually, this matrix in these industries used to also take your whole soul. The only parts they couldn't take was your ib, your thoughts, and your ka, that continuity, that essence. Everything else was called slavery, owning your name, your body, your persona, your likeness. But the Matrix is coming for your thoughts. Oh, you're already talking about downloading your consciousness, your mind, and you'll sell it, because most of us sell our souls every day to your career, to careerism. All the things I listed, most of them you give to your job every day for a fee. The Matrix is unsustainable. It's civilization itself, and it uses you as a battery pack to fuel it. That's why you work a 9 to 5 in a job, but you don't have to. You can be free. You gotta read a book called FAMS, Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile Modern Society. The book on exactly how to create it, it's told through stories. It's in a link at the top of the page. The audio version is free. Also on that website is a course that shows you how to become your highest self, your highest soul. But more importantly, I want to know who gets it right. Like, who is this man? This man is no one other than Sam Cooke. That's right, Mr. Stand By Me, one of the greatest singers, musicians of all time, and the original soul fighter. This week, I will be giving you more soul fighters. And wait till you see the list. I love you all. Peace.